So yes, as you can see, increasing our class level gets us stat bonuses. And I believe these bonuses are independent of our base stats. The stat bonuses from the class modify our base stats.
We did it,
correct?
Headmaster.
Yeah.
Okay.
But at the same time, like I just said, the penis's primary function is to urinate, isn't it? Because we do it a lot more than ejaculate.
Yes, generally speaking. Oh, shit.
Are you alright?
Your cast has encountered a critical error and must reboot.
He's not moving.
It's true.
Have you heard of a show called Ridiculousness?
What's wrong with him?
Ridiculousness?
I heard rumors that
No,
the
I haven't.
headmaster
It's like a
said
viral
he's
video
life
show, and it shows... Anyway,
I see.
these two guys came on,
What's
and
that?
one got
Depressed
naked on the
syndrome. It
show,
happens to casts near the age of 200.
flaunting his
It
penis
comes
all over
on
the place.
suddenly, without
Huh.
warning. Just
And
causes
they
the system to
censored it.
shut down.
They actually showed it on TV, but they
What do we
censored it.
do?
You know, they made it blurry.
We've got to move. And there's
Okay.
nothing we can really
But I've
do
never
for him.
understood that, because you know it's there.
Yeah, I'm not sure myself.
It's like the whole...
So I guess Headmaster Knave basically has cast epilepsy. That's unfortunate.
What happened?
And that's... Well, this is new.
Karen must be in danger. Take care of the headmaster. I will. Be careful. Don't worry, I'll be fine.
Maybe
Run, Ethan, run!
regardless of how many times we...
Great recharge.
Regardless of how many times we urinate or ejaculate, I wonder if it just has two primary functions.
We should probably stop and get some health. Yeah, you know, I don't know. I don't actually remember off the top of my head. Fun fact I did learn, though, in this sexual behavior class. The default gender, as in, what our bodies are default to in
In the womb?
yeah, is female. That's the default body type. By default, we are female. We require the presence of certain chemicals and hormones to become male.
Testosterone?
Testosterone is one of them. Yes, there are numerous chemicals called androgens.
So that's why we have breasts. They just don't develop.
Exactly.
Or actually,
it's one of those. Ooh, wow! Just whacked him across the room there. Nicely done.
or maybe not.
Down they go. Okay, so I'm actually curious. What was the armor you picked up? Not in the middle of a fight. Ah, another power module. Nice. Yes, more damage.
Okay, so going back to that, the penis and the vagina are really the only sex organs.
Yes.
Breasts, even though it feels good to be penetrated and to be touching the nipples, it's not really.
No, they're really not sex organs. They are sexualized very heavily by our society, and we're really the weird ones that way. Like pretty much every other society doesn't really sexualize breasts to the extent that Americans do, or most Western cultures. Ow, and we're on fire.
Because I know that because males don't have the normal males, they don't the ones that are transgender, they don't have
cisgender.
They don't have vaginas or anything, so they consider penetrating each other in the anus their version of sex.
Not strictly true 100% of the time. It's a form of sex.
Because I know, because females can be involved in anal sex as well, but I guess
that is true. But there's numerous ways to have sex. You will see this if you search any porn site.
But so then I guess there isn't a male version of sex. I don't know why they say
no,
that.
there is. Well, and really, it's kind of ridiculous to assign genders to any form of sex, considering that
What do you mean?
any gender can take part in pretty much any form of sex.
You mean like oral?
Yeah, or mutual masturbation, or things like that. You're thinking of sex in a very narrow context.
What am I thinking of?
You're thinking of penis to vagina.
Well, I know.
Hey, is that a weapon?
Well,
No,
I also know about penis to anus.
Right, anal sex.
So I'm not sure what you mean.
Well, they're just two different types of sex. There's vaginal sex and there's anal sex.
So if females, because if two females can have anal sex with each other,
Yes,
right, totally.
and they can also have vaginal sex.
Right. So then, why are guys calling anal sex their version of sex if females can do it? If females and females or females and males can do it too?
Because they're ridiculous, basically. There are, again, numerous forms of sex. Limiting it down to just a few and calling those specifically male or specifically female is pretty ridiculous.
Sex, well, I guess the way I'm looking at it then is that sex isn't gender specific. There are no things that only males can do then.
Yeah. Pretty much. There's certain things that only people with a penis can do or have done to them.
And that's penetration.
Yes. Well, not necessarily. Penetration without the aid of toys.
That's what I'm saying. The males are the only ones that can.
Well, and it's kind of. See, this is a really involved discussion, and we're busy playing Phantasy Star Universe. Holy shit!
Let's change that because of the whole transgender thing. People with penises can naturally penetrate, but people without penises need a dildo, a strap-on dildo,
or something else to do so. Yes.
But that,
oral sex is different depending the term for it. The technical term for oral sex is dependent on the form of genitalia it is being performed on.
You mean like vagina oral or penile oral?
Doing oral sex given to someone with a vagina is referred to as cunnilingus. I believe that's how you're supposed to pronounce it. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong.
And then
not exactly going to look this up on dictionary.com right now.
And then mouth to penis
is fellatio.
Of course.
And I believe those both have origins in Latin. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that, but it would probably make sense given how much our language steals from Latin.
Then, of course, there's mouth to anus, anal oral sex, otherwise known as rimming.
Yeah, that takes some courage. That does. Courage and really good mouthwash. But yeah, there's a lot of different forms of it.
Different forms, but
and everybody's into something different. It's kind of fascinating.
Like we just said, the primary and only function of the anus is to excrete waste. So why would it feel good to be penetrated there or licked?
It's something to do with, well, for one, the tissue around there is very sensitive. A lot of nerve endings.
I think with males it has to do with the prostate, but
yes, it does have to do with the prostate gland. I believe the prostate gland is also present in in the female sex. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that.
So in males, I know the prostate gland is what secretes the fluids to make ejaculation.
Okay, so I'm probably wrong then. But yes, it does have something to do with the prostate gland. Basically, there's
HP22, ATP7, ATA2, TP6, DMP1, EVP2, and MSD1. Go ahead. So the prostate gland.
Actually, there is something gameplay-wise I'm curious about. Are the points you get in your stats dependent on your current class?
I think they're dependent on your race.
Okay. Because I was like, I wonder if we're getting more attack stats rather than magic stats based on the fact that Ethan is currently a hunter.
Okay, so the prostate gland plays a role in
Yeah, I'm not a biology major, so I can't talk too much about this. I'm not an expert on human physiology.
But yeah, because the primary function is to treat these things, so I'm not sure. I'm still not...
It has to do with how sensitive the tissue around there is, and...
I was thinking because of the length of the penis, it reaches the prostate. And that's where the...
generally speaking, yes, I believe that is true. Generally speaking.
But your tongue can't reach in there.
Well, no, but, again, it's sensitive tissue around. And people don't necessarily like having things stuck up their butt, to put it bluntly.
Now, what about women? Because they don't have prostates. So I know that the...
Don't we need that key or something?
So I know you said that the nerve endings play a role in it, but I think
yes.
for males, the prostate plays the biggest role.
Yeah, I'm not an expert on this stuff. So I wouldn't know for sure. Alright, treasure! Commence the looting!
But anyway, going back to a more simpler thing, someone performing oral sex will make the other person's penis feel good. But if...
Or, yeah, what have you.
There are materials. But I'm curious...
I also saw a board there. Purple line. Isn't that,
That's a synthesis board.
Yeah, it's a synthesis board for an armor upgrade,
yeah.
Isn't it? A better armor than...
We already have purple line.
Oh, well then.
But I am curious, well, having your dick sucked feels good, because of the nerve endings, and if done long enough, you'll reach orgasm.
Yep.
But while the person sucking, while they might like doing it, does it actually make their mouth feel good?
Not in the same way. It can kind of feel good, but it doesn't provide the same stimulation. No.
So I would, since the mouth wasn't really designed for that,
and it doesn't have the same types of neural endings.
I would think that it's just sucking and nothing more.
Yeah, pretty much. It can feel good in other ways, but it's not the same kind of...
And the only thing that it's used for is to pleasure your partner.
Yes, basically. Okay, so now we have to... Now we fight these guys, don't we?
Then, of course, we have the people that like to mouth fuck. And you make them choke. I don't really get that.
It's a kink thing.
Okay, Bull Brothers.
Liar. yeah, these guys couldn't do much against her. They're...
So yeah, like...
Get out! Yeah. Rude! Yeah, so... Okay, so now we get to kick the shit out of them.
So yeah.
This is gonna be fun.
This is probably something we won't talk in every episode, most likely not.
Yeah,
But like we said earlier, if it bothers you, just let us know.
Yep, we'll tag for it.
We just happened to get into it today, but...
Yeah, it's kind of weird what we end up talking about, isn't it?
You think...
we just do this off the cuff. We don't have a script. we really don't. Okay.
This would have been better for an off-screen discussion.
Yeah, probably. Oh well. I'm sure somebody's going to get some amusement out of it. Rising Strike level 19. So we're just picking apart the group and focusing one down before... Ow.
Like we said, sex is interesting to talk about, just in a general sense.
Take down the healer. And he teleports, what the hell? Oh, they have a special team attack. Nice dance moves, dude. Ow, wow. So
like we were saying about earlier about insecurities, like if a gay guy, like a straight guy, they think it might turn them gay.
Yeah. Like I said, it's kind of ridiculous. Okay, so he's isolating, so we're just tearing through their hit points.
But
Oh, because leveling up the skills increases their damage as well.
or like,
I hope we got the S rank.
say you go to a
Yes!
you know, doctor. Like, say you go to a doctor. They're
Surprise,
also
surprise! Nathan? What?
I'm not sure. I've never been sure. But anyway, like if you go
Is
to
it a synthesis material?
if you go to a doctor, they're authorized to touch you sexually. Or not.
Well, it's not a it's
not sexually, but your sexual organs.
Yes,
They're
because
authorized
they're examining it.
Right. And if you happen, and whether if you happen to if you
Oh, hi.
and if it happens to give you a
Hello.
boner,
A guardian who
if it gives you a boner, that means nothing.
You're the leader of these rogues?
Right on the first try. Name's Alfort Tylor, captain of the Landia.
Ethan Weber of the Guardians, captain of myself.
Grade A banter there. Ooh.
Perhaps you should reconsider.
We'll see about that.
Ethan, you're getting your ass kicked. This guy clearly knows what he's doing more than you do. Now he's just showing off.
Who? Ethan or Alfort?
Alfred. Like, see, knowing what I know about actual sword fighting, Ethan was being an idiot.
It would be a shame to kill you now. You hold so much promise. Perhaps we'll fight again.
Tyler, I've gathered the idiot brothers.
Good work. I'm all done here. Lower the rope.
Aye, sir.
Okay, so like I was saying, if you go to a doctor,
Hold on.
if like
What
I
if you
just
was
mentioned,
Karen?
if a gay guy has an insecure straight guy, they think they'll turn
Women
gay.
never killed unless
Yep.
it's truly
And
necessary.
and then going along, if you go to a doctor and they examine you, and you get a boner, it doesn't mean anything.
Ethan.
It's just,
I would hope you don't, but because that would be really freaking awkward. But well, all it means is that you got aroused there for whatever reason.
well, cool, because the doctor's touching you to examine you,
Tyler, look.
and that's
In
stimulation.
It's a Peru
Well,
patrol
but
ship.
there's different forms of stimulation,
All
like,
right, we're
and
leaving.
it's different
Aye, aye.
contexts. In the context, that probably would not be erotic, like, at all.
No. But I'm saying if you happen to get aroused while he was checking you, especially like during a physical where he probes it to like check the opening and stuff.
Right.
Yeah. Although I wonder if it'd be more awkward if a gay guy went in there and that happened.
Probably not. I mean, it's not any... Like, really, it's not very different.
Karen,
Like this is like
talk to me, Karen. Karen.
look if a gay
Man,
guy,
he's freaking out.
if a gay guy went to a doctor and he was getting examined and he got turned on, you kind of have to wonder if the gay guy would actually enjoy it
Been more alert.
because he's in.
They kidnapped
I
some people.
don't
and
think...
ran
I
off
think
with
it would be
cargo.
just...
It's not your fault. Those weren't your
On
average
a
run-of-the-mill
typical level, it
rogues.
would be just a checkup.
Given that it's not somebody they are
I don't get it. What's so
intimate
funny?
with, I would probably
I'm
say
Say
sorry.
no.
It's
Right.
just that I never
you know,
thought you
it's-
would be the one comforting me.
Karen.
Like,
I don't
yeah,
think
because
I'm
going back to
ready
my
now.
earlier example, just
with
because
muscles
you're
like
gay
these.
doesn't mean you like everybody's penis.
Yeah.
Huh?
And just because you're
Oh
gay,
boy.
and just because you're gay,
What the hell is...
Magashi.
Okay, sorry to cut off the discussion, but what the hell is Magashi doing here?
infiltrating the train.
Hey man, you need to get off our case. We were outnumbered and outmatched. There wasn't anything we could do.
Oh. Well, as if he's not enough of a villain already. He's doing the Vader choke.
What is your problem, Makashi? It's not as if we
But
didn't
anyway,
try
like
to
I was
stop
saying,
them.
if just because you're gay doesn't mean you like all penises. And I guess that could work backwards. That just because you're gay, if you're stimulated by, like, say, a doctor, it doesn't mean you have to.
Chances are a doctor is not going to sexually stimulate you.
Well, no,
Just saying.
no, I mean not sexually, but like I was saying, like if he has to,
You okay?
like when he probes you, that stimulation right there, even though it's not sexual.
Interfere. Man, this guy is just a prick.
And honestly, I've heard so many rumors of physicals.
They're really not that bad.
I'm not saying. I know what they're like. I've gotten an idea. It's just that some people have told me that the other side is like from you.
No.
I know it's not true.
That's.
I don't know where it came from.
I don't know why these people are thinking that.
I don't know where it came from.
It's probably a good thing the headmaster is asleep.
But they said that, like, they do
Otherwise, I'm
an
sure
endurance
we'd be getting
test by
useful.
jacking you off.
The Tylor clan are the toughest
Right.
rogues I've
I'm
ever
pretty sure
seen.
these people are getting their
I don't know
information
if
from
there's any way to
porn.
beat them.
Did you see that guy,
yeah.
Tyler? His skills
Like-
were very impressive.
That would
I'll
actually
tell you
make
one thing,
sense,
though,
where
man.
it starts out like
I
a
need
normal
to get a
physical
lot
and then it
stronger
turns
before
into
I
an
face him
actual
again.
porn thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, I never believed
Glad the
it.
headmaster's back with us.
I never believed it, but I found it pretty funny.
It is only through your failures that you may
Just like the whole no homo thing.
Failures.
Yeah, that's just-
is the seed which causes all of us to grow.
Well then,
Okay,
I'll
so
be
going-
much
so,
stronger. And
like-
I will too, sir.
Good, good.
So like going back to what I said earlier, if I called you boyfriend, that wouldn't bother you.
Now,
Nah.
I know of a rigorous training course nearby.
Now what about you know how girls will get on a emotional level and cry on girls' shoulders?
Oh no.
Yeah,
I
and
thought
boys
my
don't do
sister
that.
would come over.
Like,
Typically, but would there be anything wrong with it?
Yeah.
no, and it's
I have a date
the
tonight.
thing is,
Well, what's wrong with you?
boys
two?
are
What happened
told
to
that they
getting
should
stronger?
not in a variety of ways.
Come on.
There are media messages, there are social pressures, there's a lot of yeah, I'll hold the thought. We'll get our little cast roll here. People yeah, Tyler there interests me. Anyway, there's a lot of messages from a lot of sources that basically carry the same. See, this is a really complex subject, and there's a lot to it, and it's difficult to kind of convey all in one.
Now would sexuality and insecurity
One
play a
short
role
period.
here?
It's connected. I'm not sure it plays a role in that.
Like
Mainly my main point here is there's a lot of messages that tell boys, especially from when they're young, and this is especially true of stuff aimed at teenage boys, that being a real man means you don't show emotion. And there's, or you bottle it all up, or something like that.
bottling up eventually leads to exploding it.
Yeah.
Ethan and his companions fly down to New Days,
review.
the second planet in the Goral system. In Otoku City, center of the communion of Goral, Ethan again meets the Divine Maiden. What secrets of Karen's past will be revealed? Next time on Phantasy Star Universe, the Divine Maiden.
Okay, so I'm not sure if this is a stereotype, but from what I gathered is that females are the emotional creatures, while men are not supposed to.
That is indeed a stereotype. And yes, and it's a very harmful one at that.
So if
For a
something,
large variety of reasons.
If I
Too many to list right here.
like if I lost a family member and I literally needed a shoulder to cry on, would you be there?
Sure. That's what you need. I mean, I have a variety of other factors factoring into that decision, partly
Like?
because psychologist, studying to be like therapist and stuff, so I know how important that is. Some other people probably wouldn't know, but
Of course, I know that some people would. If we did that, they'd call it gay.
yep.
Because
It just amuses me how far people will go to maintain this. Oh damn! What's the phrase? That's it. Heteronormativity. Bit of a mouthful, but that's the phrase.
what about kissing? Like girls will often give each other innocent little kisses,
Usually on the cheek.
right? But I'm not. Males don't typically do that. But is that another stereotype, or is that just?
I don't think it's a stereotype so much as just it's gendered behavior.
So there's nothing wrong.
Not necessarily, no, and it's a cultural thing as well.
So I think in Paris, people of any sex or gender kiss each other on the cheek.
Yep, it's a greeting. So that's chapter 4 finished, in which we spent pretty much the entire chapter talking about matters of gender and sexuality. We just need to like have a big Wheel of Fortune type wheel on the wall that we just spin to determine the subject for today's recordings. All right. Well,
we'll save this recording. I think my friend has some extra time today, so we'll probably do Spiral next.
Sweet. I've been waiting to do that. All right.
And I've already sent him the videos that he still has to upload.
Yeah. Which I really should upload those, actually, now that I think about it.
All right.
So,
see you guys, gals, whatever, later.
Yep. See you later.